Hello and welcome to this episode of the Lehigh Valley With Love podcast. We're excited because we're going to be talking all things 2025 Lehigh Valley Auto Show. And I'm joined today by Dan Moyer and Sarah Dams representing the Greater Lehigh Valley Auto Show. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you, George. Pleasure being here.
Yeah.
And before we get into the event, the big event itself, we're going to learn all about how it came to be, what to expect this year, all that sort of great stuff. We want to learn about the Gala first off. So Sarah, that's what we're going to start with. So can you tell us more about the Gala that kicks off everything, the 2025 Lehigh Valley Auto Show?
Well, it's called the 2025 Lehigh Valley Auto Show Preview Gala. That preview part is important because it's the first look that everybody gets to see of the cars and what's going on at the auto show this year. So it's an exclusive event. And so every year we do choose a beneficiary for the gala. And this year our beneficiary is Good Shepherd Rehabilitation Pediatric Unit. So we're really excited to have them as our beneficiary. But it's really just It's a really fun event. We kick off the event in the Goodman Pavilion, which is the large tent. And we're going to have the mummers. The mummers are going to be there and they bring
like
so much.
Mummers.
Yes, the mummers.
All right, you guys are starting off strong. That's good.
Yeah. Yes. And it's really, I mean, they bring so much energy. It's so much fun. It's just a great time. We're also going to have Kendall Conrad. She's going to be singing the national anthem. That'll actually kick off the event. So she'll start by singing the national anthem, and then the mummers will come in, and people just go crazy. They go wild.
I do have to note, Kendall Conrad is a former guest of the show. So we're always happy to, anytime that she's singing a national anthem, here or anywhere in the United States, we're always proud of her. That's awesome.
Yeah. And Dan, she reached out because she's singing every week or something like that?
Yeah, her goal is to sing the national anthem once a week, every week. So 52 times this year. And
Yes.
she's been down to Orlando to sing for the Orlando Magic basketball team, the Hornets. She's been all over the place. And I can tell you that over the course of the last 2 weeks that I've been telling people that we're going to have the national anthem to be sung, the first words out of her mouth is that going to be Kendall.
Yes.
It's great.
She's got a large following.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's exciting. So go ahead.
No, yeah. So the 19th, that's going to be the first thing when you look at our show notes where we have the information for the gala available. So you can purchase your tickets, learn more about it. And of course, that's benefiting Good Shepherd's Rehabilitation Pediatric Unit, which is always a fantastic cause. So
and let me say, George, we're guaranteeing a minimum of a $10,000 check there that night for them. It could be a lot more depending on the ticket sales.
Yeah.
I bet it will be, especially with the caliber of people and everyone who's coming to the auto show. And Dan, I didn't give you a proper introduction. So here it is, the executive director of not only the Lehigh Valley Auto Show, but also the Greater Lehigh Valley Auto Dealers Association. And I want to get a little bit of history here. If you could, really give me a sense of where this event kind of generated from. I'm going to give you the stage for a little bit.
Okay. Well, thank you, George. And it's a pleasure being with you guys. The organization was formed actually in 1997, and we've always been a part of the Philadelphia area. And the dealers here said, wait a minute, we want our money, our advertising dollars to come here. So 3 dealers in the Lehigh Valley got together for a cup of coffee and said, hey, I think we're getting jerked around here. We should start our own group. And that's what happened in 1997. They started their own group. Every single dealer in the Greater Lehigh Valley is a part of the organization.
Oh, wow.
And they really come through. They're a really given organization. In 1998, that was our first auto show event that took place. And since then, it's been getting larger and larger and larger. George, I will tell you, our last auto show, 62,000 plus people in 4 days. That represents 6% of the population, George.
I mean, what do you think that is? Is it just the overall year over year quality of what you guys are bringing in that people are, hearing about it further and further, coming farther and farther? And
Well, I think, they are, yes, but also I think where the automotive industry has grown, and now there's so many options. Before you had just the gas engine, what we call the ICE engines. Mm-hmm. Now you've got hybrids, You've got electric vehicles. Now they're talking about autonomous vehicles. But I think the real reason why people come is because they can see every single model available. Yeah. They can sit in it. They can touch it. They can dream that maybe one day they can afford this particular car, right? And they get the real feel without anyone really bothering them. Okay, yeah. But for us, Sarah is my partner in crime here. She does a great job for us, and we really work well together. And we really think outside the box. Mm-hmm. Our auto show is not just an auto show. There's events every single day within the auto show to bring more people, to the show. And when you come there, you're not only seeing new cars, you're seeing futuristic vehicles, right? You're seeing there's 2 NASCARs that are going to be there. There's going to be an F1 Formula car there. There's going to be on Saturday, we're going to have a very large tuner show.
Yep.
With 10 trophies to give out with DJs and there's a lot happening that day. Also, we're going to have Sunday is going to be called NASCAR Sunday. So on Sunday, we'll have 2 NASCARs there with it looks like right now, Sage Karam will be there for a couple hours to autograph and to talk to folks. So it's an event within an event every day. And let me not forget that every day of the auto show from 12 to 8, we have a winery there, a distillery there, and a brewery there that you can taste their product as you walk around and look at the vehicles.
And I want to mention again, Sage is also a former guest of the show. So we're it's a small world out there. But no, it's what makes this all fantastic. And when you think of an auto show, like what you're describing, it's not just for the people who love cars, right? Like you said, I might just want to go check out what's new. And then while I'm there, I'm going to look at all the awesome cars as well. It's a fun day for the family, I would think, just to get out.
The other thing too, George, is it's free parking and it's $10 at the most to get in, right? To spend a couple hours at the show. But really what makes it unique, it really works well for everyone. It brings recognition to Lehigh University. That's where the show is at. Okay, number 1. Number 2, the manufacturers love it because you're able to show their product all in one location and be competitive. Yeah. Why are we better than the next, right? The dealers love it because it's extra advertising for them and they can talk about their product, but there is an uptick in traffic at every dealer in the Lehigh Valley, starting a week before the show and for the next 3 months. So it creates a lot of activity, it creates a lot of excitement. Yeah. Okay, but the main function of the auto show is the Greater Lehigh Valley Auto Dealers Association. We're a philanthropic organization, and having the auto show enables us to give back well over $150,000 a year to organizations here in the Lehigh Valley. That's the big thing, and our goal, Sarah and my goal, is we want to hopefully by after this auto show, we want to be at $200,000 a year to be able to give back. And by doing all these extra events, that's what we're going to do. I want the folks to know the dealers don't profit from any of this show. Mm-mm. Okay, that money that we raise, goes majority of it goes back out into the community.
Well, tell me a little bit about the Gala, the Greater Lehigh Valley Automotive. Can you tell me? I mean, we mentioned how it came to be, but what does it do now? How the organization sounds way bigger, and the fact that you're able to give so much back to the community, and people may, they're going to their car dealerships. They might not be thinking about some of these organizations that are going on behind the scenes. Talk a little bit about it.
Well, currently there's 44 dealers in the Greater Lehigh Valley. All of them are part of our organization with 72 rooftops. So they're rather large. I will tell you that the Lehigh Valley new car dealers in the Lehigh Valley are the 4th largest organization as far as employee count in the Lehigh Valley. We're number 2 in the country. So there's a movement there. We're very powerful in what our story is about. But really, it's all the dealers that got together to form the organization, and it's a philanthropic arm of what they do. And it's not just Glavada that gives back. As a former dealer, I was with the Kelly Automotive Group for 34 years, and a partner for the last 20. And I ran fixed operations for their stores. And I can tell you that every dealer in the Lehigh Valley, in some way, shape, or form, gives back to their community. And in 2022, between the new car dealers and Glavada, we gave back just under $1.2 million.
That's fantastic.
So the reason why you want to buy here, if you live in the Valley, okay, the reason why you want to buy your Honda from Vinart and not Peberg is because he gives back to the community. Glavada gives back to the community. That's the reason why you want to select these dealers here.
And I'll tell you what, if that's, the choice I have, like, we know that this one gives back and this one we're not so sure of, it's just an easy decision. So It's just amazing. I love stories like that where it's like you guys came together, had a cup of coffee, and now you're giving millions of dollars back to the community, and that's on your own volition. Nobody said
right. That's right.
Came together. I love it. Yeah. It's amazing. I want to talk a little bit more about what we're going to see when we're there. We talk about electric cars, I think, every day on the internet, and it's an exciting time for gas powered and electric. What are some of the things that we know that we're going to be able to see this year that might be exciting for some attendees?
Well, you're going to see three options. You're going to see gas cars, hybrid cars, and electric cars. Almost every manufacturer out there is going to be there. You really want to come and see some high-end cars, some really high-end cars? How about a brand new Lamborghini this year, a brand new McLaren? How about a brand new auto manufacturer not a lot of people heard of? How about the manufacturer from Britain it's called Ineos, Ineos. They make a vehicle called the Grenadier. And they're from the RDS group down in near Philadelphia. They're bringing a McLaren and a Lamborghini as well. And the Grenadier, what a great looking car it is. So you have that. Like I said, you're going to have two NASCARs. You're going to have a Formula One car that's going to be there. Okay. And what makes our show different, George, than most every other show in North America is we utilize three separate buildings for our show, and we break it down. So earlier, Sarah was talking about the preview gala, where it starts. That starts in the import pavilion. That is a large tent structure, steel structure, raised floor carpeting, heating, air conditioning, everything there. But that's where the majority of the import cars are. Now, if you want to see domestics, you got to walk, 50 yards down to see the Roush Fieldhouse, which is called the Domestics Pavilion. That's where the majority of the domestics are. And then when you want to go see some really high-priced cars, then you go over to Stabler, which is the luxury pavilion. So we break it down so people. It's a nice flow. It's
a nice walkable area. I was just up there for an indoor track meet. It's a great walkable area up there. People haven't been, and like you said, ample parking as well. So perfect for an event like this.
It is, and you've got Volvo, you've got like I said, McLaren, you got Mercedes, Mazda, Acura, Honda. Toyota. And they're really great looking displays. That are there. So and then of course on Friday, I believe we have the Thunderbird Club coming. They park on a patio in front of Stabler, and then Saturday we have the Corvette Club coming. They park in a patio in front of Stabler. Sunday we have two of the largest Mustang clubs that are going to be there. All right. And we're working on something that I don't want to let out yet, but there could be something more special coming on Sunday that might go along with the NASCAR with NASCAR Sunday.
Yes.
It's funny. You talked about Sage and of course the Andretti's and, cars and coffee. The Lehigh Valley has an automotive. There's automotive in the blood here, and people really flock to it. Do you see that excitement from people, every year when you meet them at the events?
Oh yeah, they're pumped up. They're excited. And because some people come there, probably 50% of people that come there, George, come there because they're not sure of which vehicle they want. They want to tie down their buying decision, right? So how do you do it? You come and you sit in the cars and you sit and you physically sit in them and you grab a hold of the steering wheel and see which makes you feel comfortable. And I say to the dealerships or the manufacturers that aren't going to be at our show, which I will tell you this, we're going to have 29 manufacturers represented at our auto show. Okay, that is 11 more than most North American auto shows have at their facilities. 11 more. I can't say by name. Sure, I get angry.
Come and see.
But I will tell you that we'll have more manufacturers there. And what I say is the manufacturer that's not there, you could be hurt by that. Because if I'm going in to look at a specific car and it's not there, but my second choice is, I just might have swayed my buying decision, right?
It's interesting. I'm not somebody who's buying a McLaren, right? But it's our next car, because we have two cars that are paid off. So when we go to purchase another one, it's probably going to be an electric, I guess. I don't know. I want to go see some of these things too. So while I'm not right there, I'm still interested to see what's coming out because it's so exciting, Yeah.
And one thing last year, we're going to do it again this year, is I had an opportunity to give three families a personal tour. All three families had an autistic child. And I'm going to talk about one because this one still sticks with me. I got chills when I talk about it, but he was an 11-year-old boy. And for autistic children, they usually focus on one thing. Okay. And this young boy's focus was cars. And he was so happy and excited to be there. He never walked away from his mom. But when he was there and we started talking about cars, he stood by my side. His mom said, why don't you come with me? No, I want to be with Mr. Moyer. And he was by my side the entire time. This kid knew so much about cars, and he was talking. It was incredible. But his love was a McLaren. And I knew it ahead of time. And I went over and talked to the gentleman that had it. And I said, I know we have it roped off. We don't allow anybody back there, but can we let him back there with you and maybe let him get a picture next to the car? He goes, Dan, I'll let him sit in my car. So this boy comes up, George, and I'm going to tell you, it was fantastic. We walk up and we come to that section, and he just goes, like this. And he's like, Mom, look at, right? And we walk over, he's in front looking at the car and really eyeing up, his big smile on his face. And I went over to the owner and I said, can we let him in? And he lifted up the rope for him to come in. And he was taking pictures by the car. And the owner says, come on, why don't you have a seat in the car? The kid, the smile just got larger. And after about 30 seconds in the car, he has his phone out like he's driving, doing a shot, like a YouTube video. And but what was really heart striking is he stood there for about 20 minutes with that car, and he talked to the owner. Wow. And at the end, he said to the owner, he goes, can I tell you something? And he said, sure. He said, you're my hero. And with that, the owner looks back at him and says, can I tell you something? And he said, sure. He goes, you're my hero. And he gave each other a hug, and then we went on and looked at the rest of the cars. That itself is so cool to do, and we're going to offer that again this year to other families.
That's so great. It's so fun because in the same vein, like it's just cars are, I think, for a lot of people, just part of that Americana, and looking at so many of them and just being around it is fantastic. Fun.
Yeah, I can tell you this. A few years ago, my daughter said to me, when I was at the dealership, she said to me, Dad, what exactly do you do? And I said, well, hon, I don't know if we have 3 weeks to talk about that.
Right.
But I can sum it up. I can sum it up in one word, and that is freedom. And one thing that the automotive industry does is gives everyone the freedom to go where they want to go whenever they want to do. Right. That's the key. And when you have that freedom, which many other countries don't have, but we have that here. That's what it does for us. You know what I mean? And just think about it. The day that you have to take your car for service and you don't have something else to drive, it's a challenge. It's like taking your child to the hospital and having to leave them there. Right?
Sure.
So,
my goodness, yeah.
So it gives us the freedom to do what we want when we want to do it.
Right. Sarah, what are you looking forward to? Somebody who's like kind of on the inside, you know some of the secrets, so to speak. What are some of the things that you look forward to every year?
I just love seeing all the people there. They love it. They're focused and checking out the cars. And some of them, they'll be waiting in line to look at the car. It's that exciting for them.
Is the March date on purpose? Like March 20th to the 23rd is when the official dates of the auto show. We want people to make sure they're going to LehighValleyAutoShow.org. All the information for this is in our show notes. But this feels like a great way to kick off spring and to kick off 2025 and to get on the road. The sun was out a little bit yesterday, and I was driving. I pulled the window down, and it's just, you can't describe that feeling, right? When it's the sun's hitting you, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock, and you're driving. So, really looking forward to that too. Yeah, definitely. It's that time of year, and we've had some nice weather the past couple of years. So,
and the other part too, sir, is the folks that come. I mean, we have very, very young people. Yeah. We have middle-aged people, old people. There's a large amount of different age groups that come and want to look at different cars. It's really cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, please go ahead. I was going to
say, we also have the marketplace.
Sure. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. So there's different booths that are set up in Stabler Arena and also in Roush Fieldhouse. So you can browse different companies and products there as well. So it gives some other things, when you're done looking at the cars, you can go through there. So there's a lot. There's a lot.
So for people, like, I guess I want to, like, for people who haven't been to an auto show, or maybe they'd be on the fence, like, I like cars, but why would I want to, maybe go up there and spend the day? What would you tell them? It's a lot more than just looking at cars. Like, it's meeting with people. It's checking out new technology. It's maybe seeing something that you're never going to see again, right?
Yeah, you can dream, and especially in the luxury pavilion. It's really fun.
Absolutely.
To go in there.
Plus, there's booths there. Folks from Skills USA are going to be there. Folks from Bethel Mary Vocational Technical School that were one of the first ones in the Lehigh Valley to build an electric car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They retrofitted a vehicle to make it pure electric. They're going to be there with their car on display. We're going to have the first Lanta bus ever made here. The original one that is completely be redone. That's going to be there kind of as a museum with the pictures of when it first started going around. So, the Knight Rider car, as I said before, and the Dukes of Hazzard car, and looks like we're going to have somebody there from the state police with one of their vehicles there. So it's a lot of fun. It is more than just an auto show.
Yeah, the Knight Rider cars, that's my alley. That's my age group. I grew up on that stuff. I love it. So I know. Definitely looking forward to. I want to talk before we go, and of course we want to people. This is all about the auto show, but you do more throughout the year with your organization than just the auto shows, right?
Yeah, we have a few other events that we do. Once again, all of the events are staged around the philanthropic portion of what we do. So it's all staged around giving back. So it's to raise money. So we have we start off with the auto show. Then we have an event for the folks that work at the dealership. It's called Administrative Professional Day. That's held at Hotel Bethlehem. It's a dinner with some cocktails for the folks behind the scenes, the real workers, the real money makers, right? We have that. Then we have the Gala Cup, which is a golf challenge every year.
All right. Ours
is pretty unique where we set it up into two teams. It's imports versus domestics.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sure that gets chippy.
And we scored. So that's a lot of fun. And then we have the holiday party.
All right, guys. So Dan and Sarah, thank you so much for joining me. But before we go, I want to recap again everything that's going on. It's a big weekend. You guys need to go to LehighValleyAutoShow.org to get all the details on this and the times and the locations and all of that. But could you get us kind of the time frame starting with the gala, and then Dan will tell us a little bit more about the auto show and that schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. So it kicks off on Wednesday, March 19th with the preview gala, which takes place in all three structures. It's going to be a really good time, cocktails, dinner, entertainment. That's how we kick it off. And then go ahead, Dan.
And then we do the rest of the auto show is the 20th through the 23rd. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 8, and then Sunday from 10 to 5. Once again, it's at Lehigh University Stabler Arena area. Okay, very easy to get to, and all of our information, everything we talked about here today, and plus more, is on our website at glavada.org or LehighValleyAutoShow.org.
That's right.
And last question for you guys: can you get tickets at the door, or should we do it all online?
You can get tickets online and at the door. There's no additional fees.
All right. I just know that's the one question I know I'm going to get in the comments right away. So, Dan and Sarah, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be there. I'm going to see if I can get in the Knight Rider car, or at least get it to talk to me. I don't expect a ride, but yeah, it's just fun. It's fun to get out. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you, George. Have a great day.
Lehigh Valley Health Network is now proudly part of Jefferson Health, and together we're bringing you more. More hospitals and outpatient locations for added convenience. More nationally ranked specialists for expert care. More clinical trials and more innovation to improve outcomes. We're investing in your well-being and building healthier communities because more expertise and convenient care means better outcomes and a healthier you. Jefferson Health and Lehigh Valley Health Network, together for the future of care.
A big thank you to our sponsors, Michael Bernardin with Remax Real Estate, Molly's Irish Grill and Sports Pub, Banco Beverage Company, Wind Creek Event Center, WDIY 88.1 FM, and of course our friends at Lehigh Valley Health Network. Thank you for allowing us to continue to bring these episodes to you. All right, Jonah, thank you so much for joining me to talk about the upcoming Lehigh Valley Auto Show. A YouTuber with Cookin Cars. I've been watching a lot of your content this morning. It's crazy. I love all the stuff that you're doing. How did you get started with this? Like, what? Actually, take me back. Where did your love from cars? Where did your love of cars come from? And then we'll talk about video.
Sure. So starting with cars, been around in my whole life. My dad is a mechanic as a hobby, and as long as I could hold the flashlight is how long I've been working on them.
All right.
And that was pretty much my my task and my job I was given for quite a few years till I earned the respect to hold the wrench.
All right.
So that's where that started. And then I'm a chef full time, which is where the cooking comes in with the cars. I've been doing that for 15 years. I went to CIT in Easton, and I went to Northampton Community College for culinary.
So for people who haven't had a chance to watch some of your content yet, just give us like the overview of what Cookin Cars is all about.
Yeah, so Cookin Cars, the main gist of the whole thing is that I'm cooking up quality videos and serving up great entertainment with every video. So I'm reviewing new cars, doing some interviews with owners, event coverage, a lot of that, some how-tos, especially on the cars I obviously own. Whenever I'm fixing something, I figure something out. And if there's not a video on it or not too great a video, I'll make my own. So that's a little easier. Race events. I'm currently on the path to getting my race license. So I'm kind of vlogging that path and going to the track. A lot of people don't know just kind of how easy it is to get on the track and also how hard it is to get the license and all the work that needs to get done. It's just not known, not something that people in that realm really record and make content out of. So I want to bring that out to the people. And my spin is giving it more of an unhinged chef approach while keeping true to myself and my own thoughts.
I love it. When did you start saying, hey, I want to start making videos? Because it's like two different brain things, I guess. I don't know. Like it's such a intensive thing to be working on these cars, and then doing video can be difficult as well. So like, when did you say, hey, I want to start really pursuing this? And your content is fantastic. So, I mean, you put a lot of time into this stuff.
Yes.
When did you decide, hey, I'm really going to go full forward with this?
So I've been watching YouTube almost as long as YouTube's been out and seeing it grow and evolve just as a consumer of content. And I'm like, this is so easy. Anyone could do this. And then, it was in my head for like 5 years, and I'm like, but I don't have a camera. And then I got a camera, a GoPro, and then I'm like,
there you go.
I'm gonna wait on an editor. So I'm looking everywhere, friends, forums, everything. I need an editor. And what I'm looking at, crazy expensive to actually get one that knows what they're doing. Or you'll find one starting out that doesn't really go with your style.
Sure.
Or you're just one of the other 1,000 content creators that don't have an editor. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna have to do this. So I went through all the software. Adobe, extremely difficult to get into and kind of understand. There's a whole college courses around it. So I went with CapCut, which I actually got hit recently with the TikTok ban.
Yeah.
But CapCut's been very easy for me. So I could focus more on recording and getting great footage and not so much on the editing. I could get my cuts, my transitions, a little bit of goofy stuff in there, and right on to the next one.
That's awesome. When you go out to, like, for example, I was watching Coffee and Cars this morning. You did down there. What's kind of like your thought process? Are you putting GoPros on everything, or do you go down there and you're just kind of like, I'm going to see what I find and go that way?
Yeah. So specifically with Cars and Coffee, I hit a lot of the local ones, almost all of them. But my main one is the Lehigh Valley Cars and Coffee. It's real early. It's really close, and it's probably the best one in the area. Yeah. Since I've been there so many times, I know the lay of the land. I know how they do things. So I already know in my head what I'm going to do. I'm going to capture all the sound of all the cars rolling in. There's no music, just literally that sound, the ASMR, just beautiful cars rolling in, the sounds that they're making, the comments the people on the line are making towards them. And then I make another video where I show, depending how many people show up, I'll make 2. I'll do one video, all the ones on the cobblestone, they call it. Those are the featured cars that the event creators showcase. Be like, these are the coolest cars, the Ferraris, the crazy modded GTRs, all that kind of stuff. And then everyone else that showed up early enough get the main lot, and then there's other side lots. Depending on how full those are is how many videos I break it down into.
Sure. I want to talk then a little bit about the Lehigh Valley Auto Show, which is what we're talking today.
That's why we're here.
You're doing some great content for that. Hopefully I get to meet you in person during it. What's your relationship kind of with the auto show? Are you going to be doing some videos there on site?
Yeah, so I've been putting up some shorts. There's one up already, and I have some more scheduled to come up. So I've been working with the people that put the show together, especially Don Moyer. And he kind of reached out to me, and the group that I'm in, Lehigh Valley Stan Gang, as kind of how I got involved with it to begin with. And Modified Enthusiast and Downshift Nation, all these other companies that partnered with his previous shows. And he liked what I was doing, and he invited me out this year. So I'll be one of the featured content creators getting in there early, getting full access pass. And then we have the news that'll be there next week for the announcement of the whole event that I'll be there. Really cool to showcase. And he just saw that I go to all these local shows, cool. We were saying, I go to the Philly Auto Show. I've been meaning to go to the New York one. Just way too much of a time investment, but I go to Philly every year. So I know what auto shows are really about, what they entail. And Lehigh Valley is right there with the Philly Auto Show in terms of dealers that show up, the amount of dealers. I will say Philly has more room, so obviously they have more cars, but the quality is right neck and neck with each of them. But with Philly, what they had is the custom cars was 50% of the show, what they call Custom Alley. And with Lehigh Valley, one thing that me and him have been trying to get is the custom car scene in the Lehigh Valley, which is huge. You see it on my channel, all the stuff that, especially Cars and Coffee. You already know the crazy stuff coming out. Downshift Nation, crazy stuff at his shows. And we're trying to pull that all together for the largest kickoff event for the year. End of March, car season's coming up. Most of it's indoors, so it doesn't matter what the weather is. It's getting to the point where it's so big, kind of like the Philly Auto Show. You definitely want to come out 2 days to really see everything, or you're just going to end up being tired. So you're going to have to make that call.
Well, let's for the car guys, so you're speaking to your peers. Why should they go? Before we talk to guys like me, talk to guys like you. Why should they go? Like the guys who really know their stuff. Is this a chance to see some really high-end cars and get to see some new stuff?
Yeah. So, one of the other things with Philly is the income range, I feel like, is higher. So therefore the cars there will be a little higher. So one thing Philly has that Lehigh Valley doesn't is the crazy exotic section. We don't have a Lotus dealer. We don't have a Lambo dealer, stuff like that. But in the Lehigh Valley, where I think the benefit comes from is you're able to touch a lot more. And the cars you'll actually see at the local dealerships will be at the show. So if you're a car guy, you're looking for a daily, great thing to go touch, smell, and taste whatever one you want. And even for the car guys, like when the 400Z came out, or just the Nissan Z, the Lehigh Valley Auto Show had it there before it even came out. So it was really cool to see that and be able to touch it before it even came out. So they are getting up there, and they have a lot of other cool things like the off-road builds. Toyota usually comes out with some crazy stuff. Cool. And then obviously the custom stuff. You have the local businesses, if you're looking for carbon fiber parts, looking for a detailer, looking for a wrapper. Yeah. When you go to places like Philly, those stores or businesses are in Philly. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm not trying to drive an hour and a half away every single time I need something done. So it's cool as a content creator, get to network with those people. It's cool as a consumer to be able to work with those local businesses and get stuff done for your car.
That's very cool. What are you looking forward to the most, to see?
Yeah, so for me, one thing I'm always looking forward to is just touching cars. It's cool just having free range, get to see what's coming out, see the new stuff. Never looking forward to electric cars, but that's
well, yeah, they're there, right? Yeah.
But they always have everything there. It's cool just how many dealerships show up. I'm looking forward to the custom scene this year. It's their first time. I think it's called Shift Into Gear that they're partnering with them. So it'll be very interesting seeing what comes out. They already got GTRs, some Lambos lined up, a lot of crazy local builds, of course, from the Lehigh Valley. I believe some are even making a little bit of a drive to get in there. So, it's pulling people in. They've been back and forth with how they host the custom cars, but this year is definitely going to be the biggest. So 100% looking forward to that.
All right, man. I really appreciate your time. Looking forward to seeing all these cars. Looking forward to seeing you there. And we want to make sure that everybody checks out your content. So look up Cookin Cars. We'll make sure that the link is available so everyone can subscribe. And let's get to it. We'll see you at the Lehigh Valley Auto Show.
Let's cook it up.
Thank you to Dan and Sarah and Jonah. Thank you to our sponsors. We're really looking forward to this year's Lehigh Valley Auto Show. Go to LehighValleyAutoShow.org. Check out our stuff at LVwithLove.com. We'll see you there, guys. We're looking forward to it.